If a man has a big enough why, he can manage anyhow. And this comes from the same man who also said, whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. So, a couple of really good quotes. And one from my dad, who always used to tell me, Max, if you don't ask, they can't say yes. I'm generally an optimistic, positive person, so the first thing I do when I get up after I go to the bathroom and let the dog outside is I check my email, figuring that there'll be at least one good message in there after I go through all the junk and spam and email lists that I subscribe to and wonder if maybe I should unsubscribe from. I'll get at least one email from a friend, a client, a potential client, and it'll get my day off to a good start. And if all else fails, make some really good coffee. Yes, I like school, but then I was pretty good at it. And I find that whenever you're good at something, it's a lot easier to like it. That plus, like most people's parents, mine put a heavy emphasis on doing well in school, so I got a lot of attention. Often to the aggravation of my younger brother, who had to come along behind me a year or so later in the same school with most of the same teachers, who would always wonder if he was going to be as good a student as I had been. Meeting new people, making new friends, learning something new about myself, the world, or other people, playing with my dog, spending a few minutes with my family, accomplishing something that I haven't been able to do before, either personally or professionally, and finding a new challenge. Also, reading a good book, listening to a good TV show or movie, or having a Sunday when my sports team wins. In my primary business, I help people sell new and used amusement equipment. And I once helped a man from Vermont sell a $250,000 carousel on commission basis. I thought I had an agreement where he would pay me my commission, a percentage of the sale, but when the sale was completed, I didn't get paid. Never heard from him. No response to phone calls, emails, or texts. He even went as far as to block his number from me. So I know he knows better, but he never paid me. Since then, I don't do anything without getting a contract or at least an email or a letter or some sort of physical proof that they've agreed to pay me a commission should my work be successful. I like somebody with a pleasant voice that's easy to listen to, somebody with a laugh that doesn't make me envision nails on chalkboards, somebody who has intelligence and something to say and isn't afraid to say it. Of course, that's something that generally comes the longer you are talking to somebody and the better you know them. But honesty, sincerity, sense of humor, passion and compassion, and an ability to put yourself in the other person's shoes or position. I also find a conversation very interesting if it doesn't stick to just one subject. I'm sure you've met people, they have one issue, and that's the only thing they want to talk about or the only thing they know anything about. So somebody who can speak on a wide variety of subjects is very attractive in a conversation. He knows that I love to read, and I read a lot. And most people know that I love mysteries, thrillers, science fiction, westerns, biographies, autobiographies. What most people don't know is that I enjoy a lot of the romance fiction. Some of my favorites are Sandra Brown, Elizabeth Lowell, Kathleen Woodowis, Judith Krantz, Nora Roberts, J.D. Robb, Christina Dodd. I also enjoy some of the romance movies on the Hallmark Channel. And in addition to listening to a wide variety of music, I'm a fan of old-time radio shows, and I'm really falling in love with what's called graphic audio. And that's basically where they take a graphic novel or a comic book series and they produce it as an audio drama, just like the golden age of radio from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. what people used to refer to as the theater of the mind. And they have like 20, 25 different voices, great sound effects, music recorded specifically for the graphic audio novel in question. So I'm becoming a fan of Marvel and DC and Rogue Angel, and I'm open to finding out some new ones to follow. So those are a few things that most people wouldn't know about me. I used to think I was addicted to coffee, but I was able to give it up completely prior to having gastric surgery and for the first few months afterwards. But then I heard Deepak Chopra on one of the morning talk shows, and they asked him if he had any vices or addictions. And he said, my one vice is a good cup of coffee. He said, but as I've been reading the more recent health journals, they have now changed their mind, and they're saying that 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day can be good for your health. He said, so I now consider myself to be free of all vices. So if I have an addiction, it's hazelnut coffee. That is, if it is truly an addiction. I think that if you get to hear the voice enough, it can tell you about intelligence, sincerity, sense of humor, and whether or not they're listening. Because not only do you hear their voice, but you're also getting their answers. And I've been told that I'm a very good judge of character, even though I don't have the advantage of the visual cues. As a matter of fact, one man said that he thought that it'd be interesting to see if a blind man could succeed at Texas Hold'em or one of the other card games where you have to bluff. I don't exactly know that I'd be good at poker, but I do know that I'm good at finding people, judging whether or not they're nice people, and whether or not they deserve to be in my community, circle of friends, or family. Well, I don't have any children. I do have a crazy dog named Penny, and she's no longer a puppy, at least not physically, but when it storms outside, she expects me to hug her. So it isn't like, what do I do if she cries or whines, because Penny isn't going to cry or whine and wait for me to give her attention. She's going to force her attention or my attention on her. She will come up and rub me with her cold nose. She will put her paw on the bed and press down on the mattress to let me know she's there. She will blow her nose really loudly. She will shake her ears. And if I don't put down the laptop, she will knock over my coffee cup. And then I pet her, I scratch those places she pretends that she can't reach, and I hold her when the storm comes.